Hi, welcome back to another episode of Coldstream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. In this week's video, we're going to do part 2 of the doors on the Moncton Coupe. Last week, I wasn't able to get to the passenger car door, although there was some work done to it because we ran out of time. So this week, we're going to work on the passenger car door. The bottom of the passenger car door was repaired. As I said in the previous video, it's got a new bottom on it. There was also a section that I had to replace here that I got from a donor door. So the door frame itself is in relatively good condition. As I said in the previous video, this door skin has got a lot more damage to it. There's a nice big dent here. The metal's stretched quite badly. Bunch of picks I can probably take out. This is probably going to be more of a candidate for doing a total door skin. So that currently is the plan, is to do a complete door skin for this door. So I'm going to step you through that in this video. I'll have to actually go out and get some metal because it's the weekend. And I don't have any to start tonight. So the other thing I mentioned in the other video, and a couple people questioned me about, was I said I adjusted the door gaps. So over here on the Moncton Coupe, what I did, because this door was not part of the coupe itself, it's another door, it's not going to fit perfectly. So over on this edge, it was actually, the door fit in the hole, the hinges were good, but the gap here was too tight. So essentially what I did, I ground this edge back and then welded the edge up so that I get a consistent gap. Now, that's how you do it if you don't have, or if you have too little of a gap. It's still a little narrow there, so I might have to touch it up, but I get a pretty decent gap along the side here now and across the bottom. It's just, I got to fix that, but still more work to come. Now, if and when you have too much of a gap, how do you fix that? So what we typically do is we weld build it up. So you can start off with a piece of 1/8 rod, and essentially you basically weld that to the edge to build it up. Not coat hangers, but like, nice 1/8 inch rod. And you'll have to do that all along the full length. And then basically weld it all the way and dress it up nice and neat. So that's how you would fill the gap in. The New York Coupe, I am going to have to do that on the driver's door for sure, because there's too much of a gap there. So follow along. We are going to make a door skin for the passenger door of the Moncton Coupe. As you can see from the time-lapse videos, making the door skin and putting the crown onto it with the English wheel, and then even tipping it up, the edges up over on the brake. You probably saw on the brake that it slipped. I bought this metal from another place and it is thicker. When I mic up the stuff I've been buying before, it usually runs 42 to 44 thou thick, which is actually slightly under 18 gauge, even though they're selling it to me as 18 gauge. A lot easier to work with. I got this from another place because it was everywhere else was shut down over the weekend. It is full 18 gauge and it is very difficult to bend. I saw that it was from overseas somewhere, so hopefully it's good metal. It's on there. It's formed. Gonna have to work to get everything bent over on the edges. Right now I'm at the stage where I'm using these little clamps. I like to use these little clamps to hold things in place. One thing I do find, the aluminum on here, I think it kind of works as a heat sink. So I like to keep it on there when I'm welding some of this stuff for the initial stages, because when you weld it, and I'm still only welding my first welds about 1 inch apart, waiting for them to completely cool down and then going in between. So next up, I'm going to continue welding this seam along here. I'll take the clamps off. It'll probably take the better part of 4 or 5 hours to work in between there and just make sure that I don't have any distortion. I've welded up close to the belt line here too, so it should really kind of help with no distortion on it. But that's the full panel. Like I said, I'll keep working the edge, keep working the weld, I'll dress it off, and I'll finish this door off for this video. And here's the finished door skin on the passenger side door. It's on, it's got a relatively good shape to it. The gaps are pretty good. I did have to trim it here a little bit on the bottom and build it up across the bottom here, but that's as hard as you try to make a skin to put on a door, there's going to be some tweaking. There's still more work to do with the door and the body itself. As I've repeated before, you know, it's a sedan cowl on the back, on the front of a 5-window coupe, which you can do, but there's still some more work we've got to do. So join us next week. We are going to keep working on the 5-window coupe, on different parts of this body to try and get it up to where the owner wants to have it. And that's it for this week. Please like, share, tag, and subscribe, and send us your comments, and we'll do our best to answer. Take care, everybody.